Let's go.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, to get this one going. And away we go in Cincinnati. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's first and 10. Burrow setting up the play action. Well, they took their shot immediately. Would have been cool if they connected, but no luck. Second down.
With how hard it is to get an open look downfield, can't let the coverage off the hook with the drop. Saw open space, started running before he was able to watch the ball into his hands.
On one, ready?
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call.
Let's get set.
Play action now. Burrow. This is hauled in by T. Higgins. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down.
Here we go.
They go play action here. Connects on the crosser. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
First down, Burrow to throw. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. That's Justin Simmons. And the Falcons get the football on the first turnover of the contest. Wow, what an exciting start to this game, Brock. Apologies to the former QB and you. It's not an opening drive touchdown, but an interception instead.
Yeah, exciting for one side. That would be the defense. Demoralizing for the other side as an offense. First salvo, listen, it goes to the defense. And now it really sets the stage for what I love and what you love, Kate, in this game of adjustments, in the game of back and forth. Who's going to respond next?
And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you've got to count on those being efficient and effective.
And this is going to be a short carry that just reaches the 40. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Penix working from the gun. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
With all due respect to some of the great linebackers back in the day, to play the position today, man, you've got to be versatile. You can't just be a come up and stuff the run. You got to play coverage. And these defenses more and more rely on you to break up throws just like that.
And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Jermaine Pratt picks it. And the Bengals get the football back at midfield. Not the auspicious debut they'd certainly hoped for on that opening drive. The coverage, impressive, taking their first possession away with that interception.
Hey, it is tough to play a clean game in this league. Caliber defenders are awesome. You just hope that eventual missteps happen at a less meaningful moment than your opening series. You don't want to make it any harder to get your rhythm and get your passing game going.
Second down now, 7 to go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Brown again. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Stopped by Grady Jarrett.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
They'll run again with Brown. And he's going to fight his way forward for a modest pickup to the 43. It's a gain of only 1. Still 3 yards to go here on 4th down.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
4th and 3, drive on the line.
Gun.
Trying for it with Burrow. He connects downfield on 4. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That big 4th down call is how we close out our first quarter. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. We're all set to bring you the second quarter. The Bengals well within striking distance. 1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Cut near the goal line. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him, only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
On 1, ready?
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Brown crosses the goal line for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals get the game's first points here in the 2nd. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
And he is hit well behind the line and goes down. They're not able to make much of anything on that 2-point attempt. Could have been 7 if they tried the point after, but instead, they only call on him to boot this away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Into the hands of Pitts. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset. 1st down, and they go right back to him. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Got a man, it's London. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Penix. Throw reeled in by London. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They got 24 yards on the play. And the Falcons will have a 1st.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Penix on 1st down. It's another 1st half mistake. He's intercepted again. Von Bell takes it away. And the Bengals get the football just short of their 20 after the interception and return. Inside the red zone, they could feel how tight they were to the goal line. And then bam, Brock, they're off the field after a clutch interception.
I tell you what, football's the ultimate team game, but this is a situation where an individual picks up all 10 of his guys out there on the field. Somebody else is going to pick up the tab at dinner tonight for him.
Here we go.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. That one's cut along the left sideline. It's a full 40 yards on the play, Brock, and a new set of downs.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot play.
This has been a trend, yet another interception. And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense. So the interception's going to be remembered by the fans here, partner, but not by the official score. The interference call takes that away. A fresh set of downs after that penalty. Here's 1st and 10.
Gun. Dot.
Throwing now, off play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
You're going to go play action, Kate. You've got to sell. If you don't convince that defense you're running it, or if it's a situation where you never run the ball, you really do leave your quarterback dead in the water, vulnerable against a defense who will storm right past that fake and right into that pocket.
He makes it in for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals will add to their lead at the end of the half. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Point after, up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals bump the lead up to 13 points. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Here's Avery Williams on the return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Down to 12 seconds before halftime as they come to the line. 1st down, here's Penix. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. He'll throw it. And this one falls incomplete, so we're down to 4 seconds, and we'd assume our final snap. That one intended for Drake London. And what will they dial up on 3rd and short? Throwing it just before halftime. He beams one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And somehow they've reached the end zone with no time remaining in the half. So late in the half, Brock, why not take a shot downfield? And their prayers are answered as they come up with that late touchdown.
Nice play.
You know, this is just a case of who wants it more. If you're in that secondary, all you're thinking is knock the ball down.
Yeah.
Even if you make some contact, right? They rarely call pass interference on plays like that. But somehow, some way, the ball winds up as a touchdown.
And there it is. He makes the play in the end zone. And with no time remaining, they tie this game up as we head into halftime locker rooms. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this 2nd half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Finds him on the slant. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped.
You know, I often say there is a fine line between aggressiveness and carelessness. And when you throw into double coverage, Well, it can go either way. That time, a tremendous catch by his receiver on the other end.
And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Here's a counter give to Robinson. In the middle holes, they don't get anything on the run. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Penix here from the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He puts some power on it. He's got it inside the 25. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down. What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. That's much too high and out of the end zone. Incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And it's going to be 2nd down. Robinson on the inside give. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
These stops, they don't always make the end-of-game highlight reels, but they absolutely should. The coaches and players know it. Offenses are always counting on yards on that type of run. And anytime it results in a loss, it could be a potential drive killer.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete.
You know, that is so hard to do. It's called body control. Great positioning to swat the ball away, not go through the receiver, no penalty flag. He's got the body control and, more importantly, the timing to knock that ball away.
And they will score. It's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons take the lead right away in half number 2. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare.
Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jermaine Pratt picks it.
I'll take
And the
that.
Bengals get it back as he intercepts him for the 2nd time this game.
Let's go. Yeah, but can I do anything now?
Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. Starting from the 5. This return makes it up to the 25. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Hot.
Burrow to the air now. This has been a trend, yet another interception. That's Justin Simmons. And the Falcons will be down inside the opposing 35 as they take over after that interception. Well, no doubt they envisioned that as the start of a 2nd half push for the lead. But the defense, well, defense had other ideas, Brock, protecting their team's advantage and taking possession back on the first play of the series.
Not the way you needed to start the half if you were thinking comeback, but exactly the way to start the half if you're trying to take this lead and step on it. That's a defender who sensed the need for a splash play and delivers.
On 2nd and 10, it's Penix. Completes, it's Bijan Robinson. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once, I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back, I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts, as that'll leave them with just 2 to use the rest of the way.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates now as a receiver in the open field.
Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that leaves them with a decision to make on 4th and short. Looking to throw. Oh no, they get him yet again. Geno Stone picks it off. Through the defense he goes, room to burn. He's at the 30. Gets the 10. And it's a touchdown as he brings it back to the pick 6. Well, they had to try something there on 4th down, but that throw played right into what the defense was anticipating, Brock, and they make it hurt that much worse by taking the turnover back for 6.
Hey, I'm all for these great group celebrations, and, you know, I'm not Captain No Fun, but one of these times I'd like to see that player run that football over to the D coordinator who predicted that play was coming and really made the right call to create that opportunity.
And he reaches the end zone, so they'll be up to a 7-point lead. So we're through 3 here. And after that... A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Offense up to the line fast. 2nd and 13. Completed over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. He's back to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock. It is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and you couldn't do it.
So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Brown on the inside give. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's brought down for a loss. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Cincy. Bengals feeling lucky with a 7-point lead. Offense to the line for 2nd down.
Gun. Got.
Straight ahead, it's Brown. And good tackle, but a flag is down, likely against the defense. Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down.
Let's get set.
They'll run here following the penalty. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. Give him 5 yards to bring up a manageable 3rd and 1.
Here we go.
Now it's Brown. And he'll bring it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. So that should be the one that does it, Brock. A big one late that puts them up here 2 scores.
What a complete performance overall. The clock where it is and where it stands right now, Kate, that should be the capper. And that is so satisfying as an offense to go up 2 scores.
So following the missed point after, a chance to take his frustrations out on that football as he sends this away. Chooses to bring this one out. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Play action, here's Penix. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain. That throw is looking for Kyle Pitts. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. They go play action, here's Penix. Trying to push it deep downfield. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. But ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge gain.
And he's there to knock away the pass and force a 4th down. That one intended for Drake London. So that brings up 4th and long. Here he is to throw. And they get to him and haul him down. What a play.
Being on some chill.